Jakks Classic Superstars collection we recently picked up, and this is video number 6. Welcome everyone, Kyle here with my special guest assistant, my wife Angie.
Hello everybody.
Hello, Angie is back again today as we're continuing on, going through tub after tub after tub. Should I do 13 tubs?
No.
No. But we
did do 13 tubs.
Yeah,
I thought you meant 13 videos.
We're in the midst of doing 13 tubs of Jakks Classic Superstars from a collection we recently picked up, and we is the prime word we're using here. And Angie is nice enough to be my Vanna White, helping me through here, get through all this. So hopefully you've enjoyed these videos. I believe this is the 6th video we're doing.
Yep.
It seems like 106 is what Angie said, but she's really having a lot of fun learning all about the classic superstars, learning about one of our favorite lines of all time, as we've talked in the past videos about how we were dating, going out, hitting the old Kmart's, Walmart's, Target's, Ventures, Toys R Us's.
Good times.
Great times. Getting Panera along the way. A lot of stuff like that. So we've been diving deep, having some stories around some of this stuff, and this is the final video. So if you missed any of the other ones, make sure you go back on the channel, check them out, and of course subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell, as there's going to be a lot more going on with these figures than just these videos. I'm going to be opening some of these. I'm going to be hanging some of these on the wall for my personal collection, and of course we will be selling some of these. Actually, probably well over 100 of these will be for sale. And like I've said in the other videos, Patreon members, hopefully you're subscribed to the Patreon. If not, check it out. Link in the description below. If you're a part of any of those tiers, you're going to get first dibs on these as I start to get rid of some of these out of this collection. So much more to come in the Jakks Classic Superstars arena. We'll call it an arena. So there we go. So without any further ado, Angie, you ready to start in again?
Yes.
Are you ready to talk about some of your favorite wrestlers of all time?
Yes.
Well, I hope you are, because it's time to start. Let's do it. We're going to start it off hot. We're going to look at one a favorite of mine of all time here. We're talking about Cactus Jack. Yes, Cactus Jack Manson for some of you old-time fans. Mankind. What were his aliases? Do you remember all Cactus Jack's aliases? Dude Love. Cactus Jack. What else?
Mankind.
What's his real name?
I don't know. I do know. Mick
Foley. And actually, as we're filming this, he was just in town last night. He was at the Funny Bone Comedy Store doing his one-man show. I really wanted to go to get an autograph, that ECW ringside exclusive. I wanted to go, but Angie wouldn't let me. No, she would let me. I was just awfully tired, and I didn't go, and I didn't think about it in enough time. I should have got somebody. At the last minute, I asked my dad, and he said he was not interested. He said he'd rather watch paint dry, I think is what he said.
Oh my gosh.
No, he didn't say that. But we didn't get to go. But we do have another Cactus Jack here. So now we got the two differences here. We've talked about this in our deep dive that we do weekly, of course, every Tuesday about Jakks Classics on the channel. This is the 1 of 3,000 edition, the Toy Fair magazine exclusive. A lot of similarities, a few little differences here, but very cool to get both of these guys. It's going to be tough for me to unbox those. But do you know the differences?
You got a barbed wire.
There's more than that.
Oh, the boots.
The boots.
And the pants are different.
The pants are different. And that's about it, I think. Just the hands are in a different spot. The accessories are a little bit different, but that's it. But very cool. One of my all-time favorite Cactus Jack figures. One of my all-time favorite Jakks Classic Superstars. Not 2-pack, but set there. Here's another one that a lot of people have been just besmirching. Yes, besmirching. They have been taking the head off this one, unfortunately. And it is the Dynamite Kid solo release. I guess solo career Dynamite Kid. A lot of people are taking the head off this one, putting the head on the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith figure that we've got recently to make the British Bulldogs. I myself am guilty of that, unfortunately, but I will be righting that wrong and putting that head back where it belongs. As recently we know Cella Toys is coming out with not just a retro style figure, but also coming out with a 6-inch Mattel scale version of Dynamite Kid. And Dynamite Kid, a favorite of mine. Not one of the best human beings in the world, apparently, but was a good wrestler. But now we turn our attention to something I love. And what do I love?
Face paint.
I love face paint. What else?
I don't know.
Oh, it's been a long couple of days. As you can see, we got a wardrobe change. Angie couldn't do the 6 video, so we're going to have to do it another time. I can't go. Where I could talk action figures for 24 hours in a row. I could do it. I really could, I think. But Not Angie. For whatever reason. I can't believe it.
That 5th video was rough. Sorry about that. There might have been a couple yawns.
running out of gas in that 5th video, unfortunately.
If you saw me hide behind a figure, I might have been yawning.
Oh, man. Hard times. But I was fired up. I was pumped up. I love it. But anyways, back to where we were. Some things I love, of course, face paint, masks, hairy bipedal creatures, Angie, of course. But we've got Doink the Clown. Is this evil Doink? Is it good Doink? We're not really sure. It's somewhere in the middle, as we've had a few different Doink the Clowns in the Classic Superstars line. But this is the later edition, or one of the later editions. I don't think it's the latest. So there you go. Got Doink. How about this one? One of your favorites. One of the ones I don't like that much either is The Rock. He was released 2 sets in a row, basically the exact same figure. Very much like that giant figure, Big Show figure we got. Basically the same figure twice, just a little changes with some title belts and stuff. Always a little disappointed on that one. But old Rock, he's always a favorite to many. And speaking of a favorite to many, a favorite of mine in the Classic Superstars line, I always loved Ric Flair's Classic Superstars, be it a green robe or... She's laughing.
I cannot make the... Could they make one figure with his face normal?
He's got to get the woo. That's woo. He's got to do it. He's got to do it. But the green robes, the pink robes, the red robes. We got the blue NWA robe. We got a suit. Which one's your favorite color of all the robes you've seen here?
I don't know. Maybe the red.
I kind of like that pink one. The red one's good too, but I like all of them. And then we got the black one. So many good robes. But you know what? The mood, it's about to change here. Things are getting mad. Things are getting angry. We might have to send Hook. Have you ever heard of Send Hook? You never have. She doesn't even know who Hook is. You guys know who Hook is. And the other day, you sent Hook to my basement, and it was Emma dressed as Hook. She didn't know she was dressed as Hook. But the mood is about to change as we got Taz. Not the best Taz. This isn't classic ECW Taz. This is more boring kind of later day Taz and a t-shirt stuff. But have you ever heard of Taz before?
Yeah.
Yeah, ECW original. Taz, of course, now in AEW. So there you go. There's Taz.
I couldn't have picked him out of a lineup. But...
No. But one guy you could pick out of a lineup, especially with his trusty chainsaw, is Chainsaw Charlie, an all-time favorite for me.
With
of course,
pantyhose on his face.
Pantyhose over the head. Of course, Chainsaw Charlie is my favorite, and you know who that is, don't you? Do you know who Chainsaw Charlie is? Can you tell? Who is he? Oh, gotta get this. You gotta get this. You can do it.
Oh my god. Jake the Snake.
Oh.
No? It's not.
I love to wear his t-shirts. I wear them a lot. I might be wearing one right now.
Oh, Terry Funk.
Jeez. Took a long while to get there. Chainsaw Charlie, putting you on the spot with Chainsaw Charlie, Terry Funk. Great to have him in the Classic Superstars line. Not the most iconic gear, but very cool. Something different. I enjoy it. I'm here for it. Now we're going to fly into the next one. Flying Brian Pillman, WCW attire staple. When I think Brian Pillman in my head, that is what I think of. I know some people think Attitude Era. I think all about that, and that is a favorite of mine. A little tall, I know, scaling and stuff, but Flying Brian Pillman. What do you think about those Bengal tights?
I was just looking at the abs.
Oh, yeah, you're all over it. From one high flyer to another that might say booyaka, booyaka, 619 flying in here. Apparently, he is wrestling with his son Dominic. Do you know his son Dominic wrestles now? He's like 22 years old. They're tag team champions, I think. Or they were tag team champions. But they are wrestling The Miz. You heard of The Miz, I think. Mm-hmm. I used to get mistaken for The Miz back in when we first met, back in the day. It was an interesting thing. Now, I went from The Miz to AJ Styles in my old age. Or Big Show. Or the Cowardly Lion.
It's the hair.
It's the hair. But Rey Mysterio is wrestling at WrestleMania against Logan Paul. Do you know Logan Paul?
Yes.
I don't know who Logan Paul is, but she knows who he is, apparently. I have no idea who that is. Is he the one that boxes?
He's just a YouTuber.
Okay. I'm just a YouTuber, too. Just not as successful, probably. From one YouTuber to an announcer, Howard Finkel, the voice of the WWE back in the day. You remember Howard Finkel at all? Mm-hmm. Doesn't remember the face, but I'm sure she would remember the voice, as most people would. But Howard Finkel, very cool to get him in a Classic Superstars line. We also got him in the Mattel line, of course. So there you go. Now let's talk. We've talked about cowboys a few times. Now it's time to talk about Indians. And everybody's favorite Indian that isn't Chief Jay Strongbow, I guess is Tatanka. I don't know. That's a bit of a reach there. But Tatanka in the Classic Superstars line. Tatanka set the world on fire in the early 90s WWF. Didn't set my world on fire. I was never a big Tatanka guy. But yeah, there he is. Old Chris Chavis doing his thing in the Classic Superstars line. I love that he comes with this patented bow and arrow because he just was shooting those bow and arrows all the time. Or I don't recall him ever having a bow and arrow. And I actually heard through the grapevine he was more of a crossbow guy. So the more you know. The more you know. Now this one I feel like we saw before. Earthquake.
Is he wearing something different?
It might be. Maybe it is.
Did it say Earthquake bigger?
I'm confused. We're about like 400 figures in, so I guess things are getting a little hazy here. But we got another version of Earthquake. Big John Tenta, of course. Love Earthquake. My only issue with this figure and guys of his size needed to be just a hair smaller. Just a little bit too morbidly obese on here, I felt, compared to the other figures. We just come with the tag team titles, so that's always fun. So there you go. Big John Tenta in the house. Now we turn our attention to one you know very well, Chris Jericho. And I always loved this Chris Jericho. It gave me the WCW feel of Chris Jericho. How do I get my hair in that ponytail high up like that? I need to work on that. I'm going to do that this summer. That's going to be my new patented look for the summer. Once Cape season's over, it's going to be high pony season is what I'm thinking there. But love this version of Chris Jericho. Always a fun. That was my favorite time of Chris Jericho was his WCW time. I don't know what your favorite was. Just all of it, probably.
This is the only one we've come across in this, haven't we?
Yes, I believe so. Now we move our attention to a guy that won the world title, and I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I remember being a very small kid. He beat the man called Vader, of course. You know Big Man Vader. Mm-hmm. Knows him personally, or used to, maybe. But Ron Simmons, I could not believe it. I was so excited. I was caught up in the Ron Simmons madness of early 90s WCW. With Doom, I loved him there, and then when he beat Vader for the title. So that was a big, big deal for me as a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But Ron Simmons in the Classic Superstars line. So there you go. Now we turn our attention to Russia, which, Russia, not a lot of good talk coming out of Russia these days. But we got Nikita Koloff, Minnesota's own Nikita Koloff, of course. He wasn't really a Russian, but made people believe that he was. Always thought this one was a little bit skinny. We got one very, very similar in the 2-pack with Uncle Ivan Koloff, but I still do like this figure a whole lot. Pretty cheap out on the chain, though. I wish they would have got a real chain instead of like a bicycle chain. It doesn't look as menacing as the big swinging chain, of course. So there it is. Now here's a personal favorite and possibly one of the top 10 best Classic Superstars of all time. Comedian Andy Kaufman, the world's Women's Wrestling Federation champion, of course. Women's Wrestling Champion of the World, Andy Kaufman. A beautiful figure, beautiful robe. Celebrity. Do you remember Andy Kaufman at all? You probably watched a lot of episodes of Taxi as a little kid on Nick at Night like I did.
No, I watched
probably
the movie.
Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey. Oh, okay, but I loved a lot of Taxi when I was a kid watching Nick at Night, so I loved him in Taxi. Then I started watching Saturday Night Live tapes, and then I found Dave Letterman tapes. I found the Jerry Lawler thing. Rest was history, and I really dug deep into that. One of my all-time favorite angles in wrestling history.
Who was he in a 2-pack with?
Jerry the King Lawler. So Angie's got some memory going on. She remembers that little part. Now here's another one you love. The Rated R Superstar. Yes. So his heyday was when Angie really watched wrestling. That was kind of your heyday when he was champion and against John Cena and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's a 1 of 3,000 Toy Fair magazine exclusive Edge. At the time, and this is the beauty we always talk about with Classic Superstars. At the time, it didn't feel like a Classic Superstars. Edge is still wrestling. He's too new. It shouldn't be here. Well, some 20 years later, 15 years later, whatever it is, it feels like a Classic Superstar. So I do like that a whole lot. So there you go. Now we just talked about Rock earlier. We saw this one earlier, and I said there was a difference. It was the Intercontinental title and the World title belt. That was really the only difference between these two Rocks. Where they're posed in the package, I guess, was a little different. But waste of time, waste of space in the Classic line, if you ask me. I would have been fine with just one of them. I didn't need both of those. But here we are. Here we are. Now here's another one you know all about. Old Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know all about Stone Cold. That's a little beat up, that packaging. But a lot of these are going to be openers, as we know. So that'll be one definitely for the opener pile. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Possibly returning. As we're filming this, he might be wrestling for the first time in 19 years at WrestleMania. Back. How about Tony Atlas? Angie's thinking about getting an OnlyFans of showing her feet off. She's got beautiful feet. She's thinking about going to OnlyFans with that. And Tony Atlas would be your first subscriber, as he loves feet in his face. He loves women's feet. For those of you guys don't know, he's pretty open about it on social media. Send him feet pictures. He'll love it. He loves feet. So you can start your career with him as your first subscriber. It'll be great.
Finger toes. I have finger toes.
How about this one? Matt Hardy and his brother Jeff Hardy. She got it. She didn't get that earlier in the week, or earlier in the video series. But Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, kind of Brood era, more classic Hardy Boys. I always liked this look more than where we see them at now, I guess. But cool to always get the brothers in the set there. So Matt and Jeff in the classic Superstars line. Once again.
Hair in the face.
Hair in the face. Now here's one of my all-time favorites. I love Vince McMahon. I love Vince McMahon figures. Absolutely love the jacked and chiseled Vince McMahon figure from the classic Superstars line. Didn't feel super classic at the time, as we were just like 6 years removed from his big Royal Rumble win, but definitely I was happy to get it then. I'm still happy as of now that it's in the lineup. Love me some Mr. McMahon. What a businessman, really, at the end of the day. What a businessman. Here comes some that I know I'll be selling. We got the LJN inspired ones. As you guys know, we did a whole video series just on these LJN inspired ones. I have a loose set. I have a mid-on-card set. These are all going to be doubles, so I will be selling those. It'd be great if somebody could pick up the whole set at once. It's hard to do, so you got your opportunity here if you're a member of the Patreon. But old Rey Mysterio. And then another one from the LJN set, John Cena. I was just like, oh, why is he in this line at the time? It feels weird to get him in here, but he never got a solo release Classic Superstar. He was part of that ringside 3-pack with Edge and Big Show. I guess this is the closest thing to a solo one in the LJN inspired gear. Now we turn our attention to a guy that was just here last night that we missed out on. It's Mankind in the LJN inspired. Yeah, once again, these are really hit and miss, but they do go together very well, I think, with the new LJN AEW inspired figures. So we'll see. That's where I think I might display them eventually. What, you're laughing?
This looks funny.
Laughing. Now here's one of the all-time heavy hitters. This is a pricey figure, and this is one I already have a mint on card, and I have a loose one, so I will be selling this one. Old Adam Bomb. Yes, Adam Bomb. Absolutely love this figure. It's just a shame we never got one from Mattel, but I believe Cella is going to come at a Mattel-sized one eventually. But for right now, I have one of him displayed with my Mattels and loose, and then I have a mint-on-card one. This one will be for sale, so there you go.
I've never heard of this one.
Never heard of Adam Bomb. Boy, you're missing out on some good wrestling. Let me tell you. How about we turn our attention to one of your all-time favorites as well? You were watching in the heyday of old Eddie Guerrero, so you always enjoyed Eddie Guerrero. Now, this was originally going to be the Black Tiger, as that was his Japan gimmick persona. He wore a mask, like a tiger-type mask, a black one. I really wish they would have came out with that. That would have been very, very fitting. I don't know if it would have sold as well as Eddie Guerrero, but I think it would have looked great with that mask on there. And maybe there's a prototype out there, who knows? But that was the original plan for that Eddie Guerrero figure. Now, Angie, you always call me, say I'm that buff and I got the stuff. She always says that kind of stuff about every day. It's sickening, really. You just need to quit flirting with me, but we'll let you do it this time. But Buff Bagwell, one of the all-time sexiest wrestlers of all time, is voted by you, I believe, right? Didn't you tell me that? You loved him. You really loved his calf implants he got back in the day.
He did not.
He did. But he is currently living with Diamond Dallas Page on the DDP yoga program, trying to get his life back on track. He's fallen on some hard times, so he's trying to be like the resurrection of Jake Roberts, the resurrection of the American male, Buff Bagwell. There you go. The more you know. Now, here's a favorite of mine. You know this one, of course. Jesse Ventura. I love Jesse Ventura. Obviously, he was the mayor and governor up in Minnesota. The exotic neighbor to the north, really. Minnesota for us, I would say it is. The exotic neighbor to the north, Minnesota from Iowa, where we currently are. Jesse Ventura, longtime wrestling personality, governor, stuff like that. But also, we love him for his conspiracy theories. I used to love Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory TV show. I was must-watch viewing for me every single week. And I think you saw a few episodes. She had no choice. We only had one TV at the time. We'd have to get the rabbit ears just right. I think we had it on a cardboard box, and we'd eat cans of beans as we'd watch. That's exactly how it was back then. They're the good old days. How about another one? Eddie Guerrero back in the LJN-inspired figures is what it is. Not a huge fan, but Eddie Guerrero, a very cool pose there. He's doing kind of that shimmy thing he does there. So I think that is pretty cool in figure form. So if you're an Eddie Guerrero fan, it's a must-have. That'll be for sale as well. Another one that's classic. One of the all-time greats, very underrated after all these years. Kevin Sullivan, of course. Kevin Sullivan, we all know about Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster. He worships the devil. you know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. But the old Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, a fabulous figure with a fabulous robe. This one will be for sale as well. And then our last one in this tub. We got one more tub after this, but the last one here we're off to the races. Race car driver extraordinaire, spark plug Bob Holly, old Sparky Plug. Now, that's one thing I've never been into is race car driving. Have you ever been into race car driving?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I've ever been to a race car race. Have you?
Yeah.
She has. She's a good old country girl. She's been to a few races in her day. I've never been off to the races. We didn't do that kind of stuff. I don't even think I've never been to a race. Maybe we should go sometime. Taking kids.
Been to a concert at a racetrack.
I've been to concerts at racetracks. I have. That is true, but never an actual race. So the more you know, the more you learn, the more you grow. Pro tip of the day. All right, one tub down. We got one left in this classic superstar adventure. Is over forever. It's truly the end of an era. Definitely the end of a video series. But we got to have you guys out there convince Angie to start her own video series. We'll see where that opportunity goes to, but we'll see. But let's get into it. Let's get into tub number 2. All right, we're back with round 2, the final tub. And Angie was in charge of getting these tubs moving around. And I think she truly saved the best for last. Getting this stuff ready there is some of the heaviest hitters. And some things I've never owned in my collection ever before. And some of these will actually be for sale. And you actually, the Patreon members get first dibs, but I'm going to give you first dibs. If you want to buy some of these from me, it's the least I could do for you watching through this video series with me. So,
nice.
What do you think on your journey here? How's it been so far?
It's been long.
It's been long.
It's been fun.
Has it been everything you hoped it would be and dreamed it would be?
Yes.
Has there been any surprises? Is there any figures that blew you away that I really like this one and I've never seen it?
No, not really.
No, not really. Do you think you'll be able to do this again and have a better understanding of the Classic Superstars collection?
Yes.
Better yet, will you thumbs up and like this video?
Mm-hmm.
You will? Will you actually watch this video?
Yes.
You will watch them back? You're going to watch all 6 of these?
Just make sure I don't look dumb.
She's not going to watch any of them. There's no way. All right, let's kick it off. Let's start it off. Let's start going through these. And like I said, there's some absolute fire in this one. So you're in luck. You're in the best seat in the house for a first-hand show here. We're kicking it off with one of the most famous angles of all time, Classic Superstars 2-pack, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Rowdy Roddy Piper from the old coconut incident. You remember this one, Angie?
Nope.
Before she was born, I think. But you want to know what happened? And he comes with coconuts in here, which is a great attention to detail as an accessory. We got coconuts and a ring bell. Love a good ring bell. But Roddy Piper smashed those coconuts over Jimmy Snuka's head and broke them over his head. And if you've ever had a coconut, they don't break easy. Mm-mm. He had to hit him a few times to get that thing to break. So poor Jimmy. Luckily, he's got a tough head. Gorilla Monsoon, of course, always told us as kids, those Islanders got tough heads. And Jimmy showed us all that day for sure. So we got Jimmy Superfly Snuka there. Now here's a set that was really at the dying days of Jakks Class Superstars. Would have been a Walmart exclusive, but ended up being a ringside exclusive. It's Edge, it's Big Show, it is John Cena. A little bit of hot garbage all thrown in a box, really is what I felt like. A lot of reuse from the traditional Ruthless Aggression line. Really not a whole lot of specialness to this one for me. But it is what it is. I think I'm going to have to open the... I don't know. I got to figure that out because I don't know. For another video. I got to argue with myself. Here's one that I'm definitely opening up because I need a loose set of, but boy, it's awfully yellowed in the packaging on this one. But it is the Triple H Shawn Michaels DX Ringside Collectibles exclusive, of course. A beautiful set there. They got old Predator Triple H head on this one, which I never liked. But Shawn Michaels had tons of ringside collectible exclusives, and we've learned through this video series here that Angie absolutely loves Shawn Michaels. Heartbreak Kid, just breaking her heart every time she touches his figures, right?
There's no way he's 6'1".
There's no way he's 6'1". You know who is 6'1"?
You.
Yeah, I am. I'm 6'1". Yep, there you go. All right, next up, we continue with Shawn Michaels, Angie's favorite, against my favorite, Bret Hitman Hart. A fabulous pack right here. Never forget Survivor Series 1997. Do you remember Survivor Series 1997? Mm-hmm. Do you remember what happened to Bret Hart? The Montreal screw job. You remember hearing about that?
Sure.
I'll fill her in later. It's a long story. We got documentaries we can watch. There's a lot of readings. We'll get you up to speed over the weekend. I think that'd be a great deal. But a fabulous pack here. Absolutely love this one. The Canadian flag, just absolutely fabulous. One of these days, Angie, me, and maybe even the kids, we're going to Canada. It's going to be great. We're going to visit all the Toys R Us's, and then we're going to turn around and go home. That's all there is to see. That's all I want to see, at least. Unless there's toy stores along the way, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun. Just Toys R Us City. So there you go. Now let's talk about one. You always call me this all the time. You always say, hey, Grandmaster Sexay, what are you up to? She always calls me Grandmaster Sexay around the house. So always appreciate it. She's just a sweetheart, old Angie here. But Grandmaster Sexay, Scotty 2 Hottie, they're two only Ruthless Aggression style figures. I really regretted not buying a double of this way back in the day, so I will be probably opening this one up. But as most of us know, a very, very expensive pack right now. So yeah, Grandmaster Sexay right there. You know, he lived at Troy Peterson's house for a couple of weeks one time.
Silly.
That's a crazy story for another day. That's not for this video, but there you go. Now, this is a pack you asked about like 3-4 videos ago. You said, we still haven't seen this one. Well, the time has finally come. It is the Rockers Classic Superstars Tag Teams Toys R Us Exclusives Series 1, and I'm very happy. This is the first time I've really looked deep at this one from this collection, as this looks to be in better shape than mine. So I will be able to replace mine off the wall, and I will be able to open mine and put this one on the wall. So I got to do that kind of stuff too. So fabulous, fabulous shape on this Rockers. This was a bit of a peg warmer back in the day. So a lot of them are really beat up and damaged because they got moved around in the stores from clearance here, clearance there, all that fun stuff. So there you go. Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. There you go. What do you think?
Wild.
Everything you hoped it would be?
Wild outfit.
You love Shawn Michaels, but you always had a little bit of a thing for Marty Jannetty, didn't you? Mm. Yeah. You know what Marty Jannetty's been up to? He's been rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling every weekend. Every weekend. There it is. Now we turn our attention to a big one for many reasons, and this was originally a UK-only exclusive, WrestleMania 3 edition, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. Is there more of an iconic pack here? 2-pack going on. I remember later years, though, this must not have sold the best in the UK, and it later did go to Big Lots stores. Very similar to the AEW Cody Rhodes ring exclusive. Was in the UK for a while, then started showing up on the American shores. I think it floated in on a boat, and people got it off the sand, things like that. But turn it around in the back. I love the back of this package here. You got Andre and Hogan staring down. How cool is that image with action figures? Absolutely fabulous pack. One of the all-time great packs, if you ask me. And definitely a favorite set from where I sit. And as you guys all know, I sit right here at this couch with you.
And they got the singlet right.
They got the singlet right. Good attention to detail as well. That 2 singlet we'll never forget. We'll never forget that. How about we turn our attention to Jake the Snake Roberts and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I always had my issues with this pack as well, as Stone Cold looks like he's got a bit of a peanut head going on. Very, very small head on Stone Cold. It looks very strange. Jake looked really good, though. I did like the vest going on here. And then, of course, you get the snake, which you need for Jake the Snake. So we do have that going on. So there you go. Here's that set. Now we get another set. And personally, I've made this very clear. And I know you've watched all the Tuesday Classic Superstar videos I've had. I made this very clear that I really hated a lot of the tag team Toys R Us sets where they didn't use traditional tag teams. I bet you if you put the pen to the old paper, there's more verse battles than tag teams, and I would have liked to see more tag teams in the 2-packs. Verse battles are okay for iconic moments, but Stone Cold and Jake, that was more, hey, we got the authority to make these figures, let's just throw them in there, where I would have liked to have seen them search out some more tag teams. Maybe that's just me, but Yokozuna, Bret Hart, Pink and Black Attack. I like the all pink Brets. They always look really good. That one is no different. So talking a little Hart Foundation, that was Bret Hart. Now we got to turn our attention to his old tag team partner. You remember his tag team partner's name? Mm-mm. Jim. She's not going to get it. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And this is one of those 2-packs that were right at the end of the road as well. Very cool. A father-daughter 2-pack. Natalia, his daughter, of course, still wrestling today on the SmackDown brand. I know she really loves this set. She has this. I've seen it in like pictures before. Very cool if you're in the same profession as your dad to get a 2-pack together. I think that would be something pretty awesome. So there you go. Jim Neidhart and Natalia Neidhart. Now here's one of the most iconic matches ever. This is one of those special 2-packs that I will let slide. Mankind versus The Undertaker from Hell in a Cell. Remember that match where Mick got thrown off? She saw it. I will never forget getting that pay-per-view. There's certain things you always remember for your life. Like, where were you when 9/11 happened? Where were you when your kids were born? Where were you when the Ultimate Warrior just destroyed Hulkamania once and for all at WrestleMania 6? Where were you when the Ultimate Warrior retired the Macho Man? And where were you when you ate that first slice of pizza that you love so much? There's so many instances in your life. And that match right there, I'll never forget, laying in my bed. I had 3 buddies at my house. We're watching the pay-per-view. You know, they're sitting on the floor in chairs in my room. And we could not believe it. Never in a million years did we think that would happen. We all jumped up, and it was like 10,000 degrees in that room. It was always hot. And it was just crazy. The absolute craziness of that match. And I'm sure everybody that's watching this has seen it. You've even seen it. So everybody's seen it one time or another. How about we turn our attention to some single packs? Okay. Dusty Rhodes, oh baby, right there. Now you love this Dusty Rhodes because what's he wearing? Your favorite accessory?
Polka dots.
She loves polka dots, and we talked that before. I used to say whenever she wore polka dots, like, get your Dusty Rhodes outfit on. And very cool. I love this version of Dusty, but here's my gripe with this, and I think you know where I'm going. You could probably finish my sentence, but I won't make her. This Dusty Rhodes should have been in the traditional packaging, not this box. It throws off the system, throws it all off. Pro Figures exclusive. We talked about ProFigures.com used to get a lot of exclusives. Ringside got exclusives. There was different places getting exclusives back then, and that's where that Dusty came from. So there's old Dusty Rhodes. And then after that, we got a Hulk Hogan from Pro Figures, and once again, in a box. A bit disappointing there. And he's sideways in the package, which is always weird. I've owned this one about 4 times. 4 times in my life I have owned this figure. And I think I need to open this one up. I need a loose one. So there it is. There it is. Beautiful. It's a good one. It really is. And actually, yeah, it is. It is a really good one. But I just wish it was in the traditional packaging. That's the miss there. Now we got a little bit of a curveball. These were thrown in the collection. This is something we haven't seen yet. But something you guys know, if you're currently watching the channel, as we're going through the Classic Superstars every single Tuesday, we're about knee deep right now, as I'm filming this, in the Deluxe Classic Superstars. Now, the Deluxe Classic Superstars, I don't know if you remember these. Have you seen these before?
I think so.
Package similar, of course, but it's the Deluxe aggression. It's Deluxe style, more articulation. The forebearer to the Mattel Elites, the Jazzwares figures and stuff. Hulk Hogan, pretty beat up packaging on this one. This would be a good loosey, but of course I already have a loose one. I have a mint one, so I'll be selling this, and the buyer can tell me, do they want it loose? I can mail it loose, or I can mail it in package, and they can do the job. But a very strong Hulk Hogan, one of the best Jakks Hulk Hogan figures. You got the title belt, which is fabulous. The best title belts in wrestling figure history on the Deluxe Classics. And then the tearaway shirt on the Hulkster. Beautiful. A thing of beauty. Speaking of beauty, outside of Shawn Michaels, here's another.
With a ring skirt.
Comes with a ring skirt. They all do in the Deluxe. Speaking of beauty, how about this one? Ravishing Rick Rude. Oh, you used to tell me when you were a little girl that you always hoped that you would get to go to the WWF show back in the day, which never happened. She never got to go. But she was always hoping Rick Rude would catch her eye and pull her out of the audience, pull her over the barrier, and bring her into the ring and just lay a fat one right on your lips, just kiss you, and she would pass out. That's what happened. Those girls, they would just faint after his kisses. And you said you'd always hope that one day that would happen to you. But unfortunately, ages were different, tours were different. You never had it happen.
It's a picture of his own face on his
It
back.
is. Yeah, why wouldn't you? And then the perm hair, that just always got you going. You love a guy with a permed hair. So you never know. Maybe coming soon I'll have my hair permed. If she gets her way, who knows? Who knows? Oh, and now we saw this one before, and this is an absolutely fabulous pack. Now, there's a little bit of questions on this one, and I am looking, and this just seems to be an error. Do you see what the error is with this one? This could be my all-time favorite Classic Superstars pack. It is definitely top 5. We'll definitely do a Classic Superstars top 5 of my favorite figures ever. But there is an issue with this one. So we got the regular edition one earlier in one of the other videos. I couldn't tell you which video, but show the camera. You give up. You don't know what's different.
Well, I think he's missing the front spikes.
There you go. She's got it. So when I bought this, I talked to the guy, and he said, well, this is a variant. Well, this is a variant I've never heard of. I think this is more of a mistake. As you can see, Animal, his shoulder pads are on backwards. I think that's just a mistake at the factory. I don't think that's a variant because I've never come across it. I've never heard it in all of my travels. And, you know, I've traveled. I've been around. I've been everywhere, man, like a man on the road. But that is different. I don't know what to view this as. I don't think I view this as a true variant. It's a 101 variant, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, something different. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this because now I definitely have one I'm keeping mint on card that I have in my basement. The other one I'm probably going to open. Oh, it's going to be one of the hardest unboxing videos I ever do, but fabulous LOD. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to figure it out. Flip a coin, sleep on it. Maybe you can make the decision. Maybe not. Maybe not. But there it is. So we got that. And I just looked, and it's not been tampered with. It hasn't been opened, any of that kind of stuff. So I think it's just a mistake at the factory. Somebody messed up. Speaking of mistakes at the factory, one of the all-time biggest blunders in the Jakks Classic Superstars line was the ringside exclusive Taz. You probably know all about this, I'm sure. But you want me to talk about it?
Sure.
You'll let me. I can talk about it a little bit better than you. Okay. Well, here is the traditional version there. There's old Taz. So you see that towel up by your thumb. So you got Taz. Very cool. Now, when I think Taz, this is what I think of. This is like ECW Taz. This is the mood is about to change Taz. I feel like War Machine's about to break out. Just a fabulous, fabulous Taz. But then Ringside Collectibles had some issues. Some issues, we'll say. So this one is pre-cut as they had to remove the towel because originally, you know what they did with the towel? This goes back to the factory workers out there. They don't. You want to believe the people in the factories in like Vietnam or China understand what they're doing, but no, it's a job. They're just putting them through the line and stuff. Well, they wrapped Taz's towel around his waist like he was just out of the shower, and Taz never wore that. Taz wore his towel over his head, and it was like beat up. So they had that, and they had it around the waist. Unfortunately, that did stain the figure, but they cut this out at ringside, and they sold some of these guys loose. Stuff like this, but this is an actual one that was cut open to go through. So we got that right there. Wow. And I guess I got ahead of myself. I should have shown that third. Here is the original hard to find, the hardest to find Taz one.
Oh my God.
Where it looks like Taz is straight out of the shower. He's just missing his flip-flops is all he's missing there.
Tazes.
But yeah, it's Taz. But I'm going to display all three of these. And one of them I'm going to open. We'll see which one's the best. Definitely not opening this one. This is one I've had my eye on for many years. I've never come across one. They happen every once in a while, but I've missed out. But it's Taz with the towel around his waist. So there you go.
That's funny.
She loves Taz. So one of the all-time great blunders of all time.
Imagine being the person that has to go and just pull his towel down.
I heard you'd like to pull his towel down. Maybe not. All right. We're down to the home stretch, and we've saved maybe the best for last, or at least some fire for last for sure. And we talked, yes, one of my all-time favorite packs, Demolition Axe, Demolition Smash, and of course, Demolition Crush, a fabulous 3-pack. This one will be for sale as well, as I do have a loose version of this one, and I have them in on card already, so I will be selling this one. But man, it doesn't get cooler than this. S&M gear, face paint. It just looked like they're ready to go to like a Judas Priest concert, and like Rob Halford's going to roll out in his motorcycle. That would be something. And of course, we saw Demolition just a couple weeks ago. Crush obviously was not there, but they were not in face paint, which really disappointed me. But I love this set. It comes with the 2 tag titles and the 3 masks. That's the key right there. So a fabulous set, one of the all-time best sets from Jakks Classic Superstars. All right, we continue on. We've got 3 left. Our adventure's almost over. Very, very sad. And I'm going to take Angie out to dinner here afterwards, and I'm going to take her wherever she wants. I'm going to say, you tell me where you want to go. And I don't know if you got any ideas in mind. Do you have something you're thinking of? Or Panera, all this Panera talk just got her hungry. She needs a hot cup of chicken and broccoli cheese soup. There we go. And yeah, but here's a cool one. I don't know if it quite deserves the Defender treatment, the Protector treatment. I don't know about you, but it is Gold Dust. It is the ringside exclusive Gold Dust. A beautiful figure for sure. There's no arguing that. That caught your eye even unpacking these, didn't it? Very cool with the gold trim, the robe, all that stuff. Just a fabulous version of Gold Dust. Really, really do like that one a whole lot. So that one I don't know if I have a loose one of, so I'll have to see. I hate opening up some of these though. It's against my nature. But I feel like I need a loose set and a mint on card set. So we'll see. Stay tuned to the channel as always. So we got 2 left. 2 left and 2 heaviest of heavy hitters. And it's funny is these 2 were not really well thought of back when they first came out. They were kind of sleepers. But all these years later, at least one of them has really climbed in value. The other one, maintaining value, we'll say. But we're going to go with the one that's maintaining, and it's one that I'm happy to welcome to my collection. I did not own this one until now, and it is a 1 of 100 figure, and it is Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart. Jimmy Hart, manager to the champions. Very happy to add him to my 1 of 100 collection. Now, it looks like for the 1 of 100s, I'm just missing Sergeant Slaughter, Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, and Hulk Hogan. So 4 heavy hitters. Not sure if I'll ever be able to get all 4 of those. I just don't see it in the cards for me. But I do got all the little ankle biters, the Sonny, the Jimmy Harts now. So I'm happy to have it either way. Very cool to have a 1 of 100 in your collection. Don't you feel well graced with that? You feel like special you were holding that? Mm-hmm. Just what a day to be alive for old Angie.
My hands are just tingling.
Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they are. Okay, the final piece of the puzzle. It's sad to see this come to an end. This has been so much fun, and we've had a lot of fun in this video. It just brought us closer together. I really feel it's closer together. We love Jakks Classic Superstars. If you are welcome to come and sit in the Jakks Classic Superstars room anytime you want downstairs. If you wanted to just kind of relive this, we could just go wall by wall and redo this. Whatever you want to do.
Meditate in there.
You know what? It's your house too. It's your house too. You can meditate in there. And when was the last time you were in there? It's been a while. I think you came down there to tell me it was time to eat one time.
Just in passing.
You said, hey, come down. It's time to eat.
I have to go into the, what do you call it? Not a boiler room. What do you call it?
Boiler room. No, it's the safe room. It's got a hidden door, you know. It's a hidden door. Isn't that hidden door so cool, though? You got it. It is cool. It is cool. But yeah, that's the end of the road here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We still got one to go, but we'll get some plugs out of the way early. We'll get them out right now, and we'll do some later too, maybe. But we're going to plug it right now. Sir Paul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com. Support the channel. Check that one out. Give this video the thumbs up. Do it for Angie's sake. Just do it for her. If you're not going to do it for me, do it for her. Give her the thumbs up. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bell. Angie has since done that since we were into this video. She's into it now, so she subscribed and all that. And then, of course, you can find me at Patreon, and you'll be over there every once in a while as well. Patreon.com. Search link in the description below. A lot of opportunities and a lot of opportunities to pick some of these up if you are so inclined. Angie, do you got any plugs or anything you want to talk about on the way out?
No.
How do you feel about the channel? Maybe we'll save it. I think what we're going to do is a Q&A video one of these days on the channel. And you guys can all ask all the questions, and she can throw me under the bus if she needs to about anything, or praise me, or somewhere in the middle, depending what you want to do. But we'll do a Q&A with Angie one of these days, so get your questions ready. She just can't wait to get. Maybe we'll do that more in the official table downstairs in the basement. We'll do that at the old sitting down there. So stay tuned for that. We'll have a Q&A for Angie. You can ask her all the questions you want to ask her, and some for me as well. So there it is. All right, the final one. And unfortunately, I already had this in my collection. Like I said, this one wasn't worth a ton, and a lot of people were a little disappointed on this one in the 1 of 100 series. But over time, like a lot of classic superstars, they've really grown on people, and this one was no different. Booyaka Booyaka 619, Rey Mysterio 1 of 100, Long Beach Comic-Con exclusive. So a little bit different than your Toy Fair, things like that. But this Rey, the gripe at the time was we were getting a Ruthless Aggression Rey about every single week. And I'm not even kidding in the Jakks line. So to get a 1 of 100 didn't feel as special. But all these years later, obviously Rey Mysterio, extremely popular. Everybody knows Rey Mysterio. This one has climbed in value. So this one is going to be for sale. There's 100 of these in the world. I have 2 of them. Is there anything more impressive I've ever done in my entire life to you? Is that the most impressive thing I've ever done? That, man, my husband has 2 1 of 100 Rey Mysterios.
Shocking.
That's probably what you're going to put on my grave. Kyle died here, had 2 1 of 100 Rey Mysterios. What a legend. But yeah, very, very cool all these years later. Unfortunately, I would definitely, if any of you guys have the Hogan, the Eddie, or want to trade, hey, I'm all in. I'll trade you. But I'll probably be selling this one as well. So there it is, Rey Mysterio 1 of 100. And with that, it brings us to the end of a 6-video series. Wow. We originally thought we were going to be able to do it in like 2 or 3 videos.
So wrong.
Didn't quite work out. I got it long-winded. You talked way too much, and it slowed down the process. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I thank you for coming on the channel, doing this with me. Who knows? Maybe we'll do this again some other time. Maybe 10 years down the road. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I hope you enjoyed Jakks Classic Superstars Mania. That's exactly what this was, Mania. Now I got a lot of sorting to do. I got to figure out, put my piles to sell, piles to keep, do all that kind of fun stuff. And maybe you'll help me with that.
Maybe.
I'm not going to hold my breath, though. But there it is. Unless you got anything else,
No.
I'm Kyle. This is my beautiful wife, Angie. So appreciative of her being on here. And until next time, see you all real soon.